everyone, and welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. I, Mehek Dhiman, your host for the show, would like to welcome you all. Ed Talks, a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the discussion is: are we prepared for the technology driven education or not? And to express her viewpoints on the same, we have with us Ms. Charu Srivastava, ma'am, Director and Principal of the Samarth School, New Delhi. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mehak. Thank you.
It's so good to have you here, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
out your precious time.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine.
So, ma'am, let's start off with the session, shall we?
Absolutely.
So, ma'am, firstly, we all know that technology has become an inseparable part of our lives. And do you think that we are prepared to adopt technology driven education yet?
Absolutely. I think we are ready because the 2 years of pandemic and the education system that we were into for 2 years, I think now we are more used to technology than concrete teaching learning materials. I think the only material that we require nowadays is a smart class and the digital content. And if we add a little human touch to it, we are good to go. So I think we are completely ready, and we've good thing is that we've got used to it.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think we are, there never goes a day without using technology. I think I cannot live without live 1 minute without
Laptops.
technology. My phone, computers and everything. It is really an
Absolutely. You see, now we've got used to finding information, which is a very good quality, that we don't ask, we don't wait. So, sometimes I hear from a lot of educators that the technology has made us a very impatient person. But I think that's a good thing when it comes to finding knowledge, because you don't have to wait for, a gyan to come onto you, or, to dawn of knowledge to fall on you. You have technology in your hands. You have a Quora, you have you have your Google. So you can ask questions, and by now, I think 2 years, again I will refer to the pandemic time, it was very good for us, because in these 2 years we understood which is the best source of knowledge for us. So even when it comes to Google, what are the websites that will give you good credible data, and which are the websites that will give you gossips. So now we have also acquired a quality of filtering the right websites from where the data and knowledge can be procured. So I think it's a very good quality that we have become impatient, because when it comes to gaining knowledge, one should be impatient as a person.
Absolutely, ma'am. But do you not think that being impatient and that it has decreased the attention span of people in general, the technology, the social media, the over usage of social media?
Feel so, because it's very individualized. The way you accept the data and the knowledge that is around you, be it social media, be it technology, or be it any kind of content that is available, how you perceive it is also a skill. So sometimes the skill is inborn, sometimes the skill is acquired, which means it is to be taught to you on how to filter the right data and how to make use of it. For example, when we talk about a company like NTAB, you give out beautiful data analysis. Now what the schools do with that analysis is completely their decision. It's completely their prerogative. So what you do with the data and the knowledge that is available to you is purely a skill, which can be inborn, like I said, and can be acquired. So I don't think that poor decision making skills, low attention span, because if the data looks engaging, if the data looks beautiful to look at, and it doesn't look like just numbers, and it has colors to it, so there are various creative ways of presenting data. There are various kinds of graphical analysis, bar analysis. It's so engaging. So I don't think the attention span goes away, because it catches your attention immediately and it gives you instant feedback. So I don't think, it's just very individualized, and I think it's a very narrowed down approach if people feel so.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much. So moving forward, ma'am, with the inception of, technological advancement, so do you think that, every school should adopt complete automated classrooms with everything being taught on, slideshows, PPTs and videos?
No, not everything, because I always feel there should be a balance between high touch and high tech. So high tech will come from, the content that is available, and, what is available through the smart boards and the content and, internet and other technical tools that you have. But definitely you need a high touch, which will only come from a human being to another human being. So you need a teacher, and you need someone who can inspire you, because our country purely, or I don't think anybody in the world is ready to live in a classroom where you only have classmates and no class class teacher. That's why the whole concept of having a mother teacher came into being, because you need that emotional balance in the classroom along with technology. So to teach effectively, technology definitely is a very important tool. It is imperative that schools go technologically advanced, but you cannot do away with the human touch. You can't do away with without collaboration. You can't do without a teacher in the classroom. You need somebody who can be your champion, and that first champion has to be first your parent and then your teacher, and thirdly probably your own peers. So I think that balance has to be taken care of.
Absolutely, ma'am. Moving forward, ma'am, do you think this technology, plays an instrumental part in improving the learning of students? And if yes, then how?
I love this question, because I have, recently come across a lot of platforms which are, self-paced platforms, be it teacher trainings or be it studying, through the platforms by the students. So technology helps you because first of all, it gives you instant feedback. That's number one, and it tells you where you are, how much you want to cover up and what are your strengths and what are your challenges. It gives you that SWOT analysis. Secondly, I think if the child wants to learn in a self-paced mode, technology is really helpful. So you have your own customized module which you can take up, and these days we also have learning modules which do not let you go further unless and until you cross a particular line. So you give a particular exam or an assessment and then only the module takes you further. Even in psychology you have self-paced programs. I remember one of the programs that was developed pan India many years ago was a cognitive behavior therapy program, and it was developed by AIMS, and it talked about developing or healing yourself through technology for people who were under depression. So, you have something like this for clinical issues also. Then, of course, there are programs available for the students where children learn at their own pace, and they can do away with tuitions, they can do away with extra worksheets and practice. All they need is a technical platform on which they can learn, they can take assessments, and if you pass the assessment with a minimum level of learning, you go forward, otherwise you don't. So you have a support system. So I think in terms of self-learning and improving your own self, where you want to be with the rest of the class but also would like to take care of your own self individually when you do your self-study, I think technology is really a helpful tool. Same case is for the teachers. There are MOOCs available, there are self-paced learning platforms available which work with teacher empowerment. So a teacher who can only devote, like I am very particular with my empowerment sessions, and there are these platforms such as Future Learn. So they have a program which has to go into a span of 4 weeks, in which they say you give 1 hour each and then the program will be covered. But what if I do it on a Sunday and I do the entire thing at a stretch? Because then I don't have time on the weekend. So I do it according to my time and availability. And then the efficacy remains the same, because ultimately coming back to how you receive the data. So how well do I receive the training, with even if it's a span of 1 week, 4 days or 1 day? How well I receive it, how much do I record it, and how much am I ready to implement it in the classroom depends purely upon me. So technology therefore is very, very helpful in learning and enhancing learning.
I think we all can agree to this, ma'am. So lastly, ma'am, you were just mentioning, pandemic. So considering that we were in pandemic for, about 2 years, so students were learning from home, we were working from home, and educators were teaching from home. How was your experience, firstly? And second, do you think that schools should, continue teaching on a remote basis, on a hybrid basis, or fully in school basis? How do you see it?
Like I said, in the last session also, that, I always feel that we happened to the pandemic. The pandemic didn't happen to us, because I don't think any other industry apart from education industry grew so big horizontally and vertically other than the education industry. So I feel that the pandemic has taught us a lot of things, including the usage of technology, which has now become mandatory in learning processes. And I feel that now that children are back to schools, again, there has to be a balance. So it has to be a mode of learning which is technologically driven, but definitely be backed and supported by the human touch, or the actual wisdom and the experiences that the teacher will put in, and the experiences that the children bring into the classrooms. So definitely there cannot be a completely technologically driven classroom without no experiential learning, because that will only come from the human beings. So balance has to be taken care of, and that's how the entire thing will go in a smooth manner.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today. It was lovely having
Thank
you
you.
here. I
Yes,
hope
I
you.
loved your questions. Thank you so much. I think NTAP creates very good questions. You should start working on assessments also.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And ma'am, thank you so much for sharing your experiences on the topic. It was, very insightful
Thank
and
you.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am, again. And for all the viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you. You have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, ma'am.